Welcome to another episode of Maniacal Music Musings. I'm your host, Jeremy, as always. Assholes in the podcast industry want to be starting something, but you clowns can beat it. I will ride the lightning with my black blade, and it's burning for you to fade to black. You'll never escape the creeping death, so don't fear the Reaper, fear me. I know for whom the bell tolls, and it's sure as hell you and not me. My co-host, though, he's a pretty young thing, and he loves to beat it. To Billie Jean, he uses astronomy every night in order to contact the flaming telepaths to take him away. The Marshall Plan has been enacted, and he'll escape with his girl by his side as he yells to her man, "The girl is mine!" And we're just not just going through the motions. Chancy motherfucking Grife!
Hi.
That was beautiful.
I know, right?
I try. I had to do the double side, one side anger, one side Chancy being the whimsical self he is. And of course, we are always joined by a guest on our show, and our guest this week is Asher Laub. If I say last name right, sorry.
Howdy. You got it. You nailed it.
First try, even. Attaboy.
Yeah.
It's not the most difficult one.
Can't say for everyone.
Oh, good. But Asher is a composer, producer, live performer, and as he's about to show us, an electric violinist.
Is that my cue to play?
Play away, maestro.
All right. All right, here we go. I'm going to do a little Guns N' Roses just to fit the vibe. Wave those phones.
Fuck that. I had a lighter. I'm waving a fucking lighter. Old school. But damn, that was fucking beautiful and like awe-inspiring all at the same time.
Thank you so much.
I
dug that up about 5 minutes ago.
The look on Chancy's face the whole time just like made me smile, like because he was in pure bliss.
I was trying not to look at you guys because I knew I'd get distracted by the notes. It's a habit I've built over the years.
Oh, I mean, yeah. You don't look at the audience when you're playing an instrument.
I look above the heads, like I just look, pretend like I'm looking at them.
From my drumming days, I totally get that. But wow, what a way to start our show! Damn, we need to start getting people playing instruments more often.
Let's quit now while we're ahead, right?
Yeah, it's undefeated right now. So I mean, we can't.
True.
If we stop now, we can't do any worse.
I played the violin, so now you got to play the drums.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn.
I'm not hooking up my guitar, so don't ask.
You sure? Oh, I was just about to ask. All right.
That would mean me buying a drum set because I haven't had one since I was in middle school. But
we'll wait. Well, yeah. I got all night.
5 years later. When he had the money to buy it. But yes, so of course, Asher brought CDs to this show, and well, okay, I'll put it this way. Asher gave me a choice between 3 CDs, and I picked the one that I thought we could match best because I wasn't picking Bruno Mars for anything in this world. So, but the other choice was definitely valid, and I definitely would have picked it if I didn't want to bring it on the show myself someday. So, and plus I know Chancy's not the biggest fan to the other choice that I love. So,
who was it?
I'm curious.
The other choice he gave me was a certain quad band that you tend to think isn't that great, but everybody else.
That's a lot of stuff, bud. That's a lot of stuff. Are we talking
like
their type of insect? Put it that way.
Beatles?
I got the Beatles. Oh well, I mean, I like their old stuff. I do. I like their old stuff. Huh. Like everything before they went to India, like basically.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the first CD after they came back from India. But
yeah, no, yeah, I mean, I honestly, it's kind of like
you don't like Live and Let Die.
Not really. I mean, Guns N' Roses did a pretty good cover of it, but
yeah,
they did, and that's the one they used in the movie. But
right,
but
I mean, it's. Like if I had to choose like a top 3 for Beatles right now to be like, 8 days a week, All My Lovin', and Can't Buy Me Love.
So you like swing? Yeah. Those are all swing. Can't Buy Me Love.
I like a lot. Pretty much everything except for polka. Not a big polka guy.
You like Weird Al?
Well,
Weird Al's.
He's right, and he's also kind of in like a level of his own off yonder.
Oh yeah.
Well, Asher, why don't you tell us what CD you did bring, even though we both know, but for the listeners.
Well, I couldn't help myself. Michael Jackson Thriller. He's a. It's funny because ironically used to make fun of him in high school. No, I'm more like in middle school, like 8th, 9th grade. And then I fell back in love with his music and just his vibe and his brilliant like dancing. Like in college, pretty much when I went on the scene and started performing, and I saw how much people connected to that kind of music. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, that. Out of the 3 CDs you gave me, there was no way in hell I wasn't picking Thriller because I mean, our first bracket on the show was a Michael Jackson bracket, for God's sake, because I picked him as the first. I said he was the first artist we had to do a bracket of. So, and I think Thriller didn't win. I don't think, did it, Chancy? It's been a long time. I can't really.
Yeah, I don't. I know it was up there, but I don't believe it did.
Oh. I can't freaking remember. That was back in like September. But
I don't believe Thriller
no,
won though.
I don't think Thriller got that far. Maybe, I don't know, but
I don't remember it. We do so many shows. There's so much music. I mean,
We were so drunk that day.
I mean, I was. Chancy doesn't drink, but I was. But so, Chancy, why don't you give your review of how much you like Thriller?
Oh, I mean, honestly, like I was saying before we started the show, that like I'm stoked for all of our albums because I didn't have to listen to anything. Like I knew all. Like when you gave me your album, Jeremy, I was like, oh, I know my 5. Bang, 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 bang. Oh, we're doing Thriller. Bang, 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 bang. Just all right out the gate. And then I was like, okay, I need something that I can think of 5 songs real quick. I didn't quite realize that mine had. Actually, I think both Thriller and mine had like the same amount of tracks on it, if I'm not mistaken. But
Maybe
it was close. But I was just like, I don't know. But you know what? Fuck it, we're gonna pull the trigger and do it. But I love Thriller, dude. It's easily one of my favorite for Michael Jackson albums. Absolutely, top 5 for sure.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I mean, if I had to pick a Michael Jackson album to bring on the show ever, it would have been Thriller because the rest of his albums don't have the amount of hits that Thriller does. I mean, there's literally only like 3, maybe 4 songs on that whole CD that are not his greatest like #1 hit, like DVDs and CDs and everything. So it's such. I think
that's pretty much what made him the king of pop. I think that's when he really rose to stardom.
Oh yeah, I mean, he went from being a little boy getting told what to do by his daddy to coming out and talking about sleeping with like 5 different women on one CD. But so, I mean, it solidified him as the king of everything, basically. And then, all the court cases popped up, but that's another story.
Yeah, that's the sad thing. That's why I was thinking, like, oh man, what do I choose that has universal appeal? And like, sadly, that does have universal appeal, and then he just like screwed it up with his weird behavior. Yeah. So now I actually don't play it at events because of that.
Yeah.
Because I always think I'm gonna like, unless somebody requests it, I'm always worried somebody's gonna get offended.
Yeah, I think people overlook. I think people once they hear his music kind of overlook what he did type thing. I mean, same as a lot of stars out there. You kind of forget what they did when you hear the music. But
yeah,
for the most part, I mean, but yeah,
just like Ty Cobb in baseball, man. Ty Cobb was a terrible person, but he created the game that we know today.
Oh, was he the one that beat his wife or something?
Oh, he beat everybody. Like it didn't matter. Oh. Like his wife, his assistants, people in arm's reach.
He would literally walk in the room and just look at somebody and be like, "All right, you're getting it today."
I mean, he was probably one of the, most unknown terrible people in history, you could say, that didn't actually like officially kill anybody technically.
But it would have if he had the chance.
It's there's probably a couple of bodies in the closet we don't know about, but it's way old school like that.
Yeah, just like what's his name? That Ben Crosby. Same thing. Like nobody knew how to read. Nobody knew how to read.
Ben Crosby?
Yeah, Ben Crosby was an awful person.
He used to
beat his kids. Oh yeah, dude.
What?
Oranges in a sock. So did I. I know.
I learned about it in music class in college. Like our teacher told us, like he started playing Ben Crosby music. He's like, yeah, Ben Crosby, great singer, great musician, but horrible parent.
Nowadays you can't. Go ahead.
Sorry to keep talking over you guys.
No, you're cool, man. That's fine.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
There's just like so much to say here. What bothers me as a parent and as a musician, who's somebody who's like kind of invested in the field, is how these artists keep getting pushed by the market. And like the publicity should be a very different story for these people. I mean, they represent they're idols in society, so I had no idea Bing Crosby was a piece of crap. But
I mean, he also came up when Hollywood was like super tight knit, and I don't mean specifically cinematically, like music, etc. Celebrity fame. They were able to keep a lot of that tight knit, hidden, shut off. like the dude from the Mamas and the Papas doing all the stuff that was horrible to his child.
Really?
You didn't find out about that until way later anyway. I don't even remember which Papa it was, but it was one of the Papas. Just awful, awful person. You didn't find out about it until either that person died, which is the case for Bing Crosby, and then
Wow.
with the Papas, I mean, he pretty much died before she wrote her book, if I'm not mistaken. But fun fact, since you brought up Bing Crosby, his son is actually in one of the Friday the 13th movies. I thought that was pretty cool.
Never knew that.
Yep.
I'm sure his upbringing led him to that.
Probably. Oh. I mean, everybody gets their start in a scary movie. Everybody.
I mean, he was whenever Jason was starting to kill him, he was probably like, "No, Daddy, no," and then he's like, "Oh, sorry, guys, flashbacks." But
that's not funny.
Speaking of a little bit off topic, but speaking of like celebrities that are kind of off their rocker these days, Madonna, have you been seeing her all over the news lately?
No.
With like just really odd, unconventional TikTok posts. She's almost 70. She's got a lot of plastic surgery,
obviously,
pretty much because she's trying to be 20 still. And like once you're a legend like her, it's like, why do you need to try to pretend to be like you're 20? Just be yourself. You know, like you already made it. Why do you know? So yeah, just Google her and you'll see a lot of the nutty videos she's been posting.
Yeah, you can't swing a cat around nowadays without hitting 3 people that got, that were awesome, that now we can't even don't even bring up their name because all this insert problematic situation here.
Yeah. As somebody who has to post different artists doing covers on Instagram, I constantly encounter those issues. Like, oh, well, this guy's a jackass. I'm not going to cover his song.
Yeah, I mean that's why everybody should be like that one smart guy on TikTok and just do everything on Cartman's voice.
Oh yeah, that guy. Okay, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I forget. Fernando Ufret, I think his name is. He just sings songs in Cartman's voice. It's amazing. Yeah, I want to get him on the show so bad, but like they said they were trying to looking to see if he can come on. Then I never followed up, and it's been months. But I gotta get in touch with him again because it'd be amazing to have him come on. I have a certain list of songs I want him to pick one to sing, but
it's a very specific talent to sing like Cartman.
Well, he kind of looks like him. That's why he can do it.
Oh yeah,
I don't think those traits are inherently, required.
I mean, true. Because Vito looks like a grown-up Cartman. He can't really sing like him, I don't think.
I don't think he can.
These days, he can just use a filter.
Oh, I mean,
but he's not wrong.
No, but he straight up plays the ukulele. He straight up plays his little ukulele and just fucking sings it perfectly. Like it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
It's like Cartman with a beard, but for your CD, Asher, what were your top 5?
I forgot why we were here. That's my fault.
Oh, that's fine. If it wasn't you, it's gonna be me. So
the banter makes the show, man. The banter makes the show.
Yeah, it's not about the actual game, guys. It's a filler. What was your question again?
What would be your top 5 off your CD that you brought?
I'm going to go with Thriller. That was actually one of my first covers. Man. So, I was going to say Want to Be Starting Something, but no. Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Pretty Young Thing. Oh, 5 or 1? 5.
Top 5, yeah.
Pretty Young Thing. And that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Damn.
I mean, you can have honorable mentions too, so you can go over 5 if you have to.
This is painful. This is painful. I don't want to insult any of these other songs that I don't choose, Want to Be Starting Something's pretty classic, so I'm going to go with that. Yeah. But last on the list,
Yeah.
I think Michael Jackson actually wrote that one, by the way.
I mean, he probably wrote it in regards to his dad, but yeah.
Oh, good point.
Like,
Interesting
I'm grown
dichotomy between the two, you know, his dad versus him, like complete opposite side of the spectrum.
Oh yeah, because his dad never let him be a kid, so he got Peter Pan syndrome, and he had to live his life as a kid forever. But
And literally was on the Peter Pan ride. I remember as a child in Disney World.
oh yeah, I mean,
Poor guy.
I mean, I love how in South Park they dressed him as Peter Pan. That was the funniest part. But
oh,
come on, guys, let's go check out my wishing tree. But classic. We'll get to that soon, Chancy, on Users Watch Along. But what were your top 5, Chancy?
For number 5, I went with The Girl Is Mine. Number 4 was Pretty Young Thing. Number 3 was Thriller. It was really hard for me to decide between number 2 and number 1 because I love them. I love all 5 of these songs almost equally, really. Number 2 was Beat It. I loved Beat It specifically after I learned that Eddie Van Halen he basically changed the song. They asked him to come in to record a solo. Mike went to go have lunch or whatever, comes back, and Eddie Van Halen's like, hey man, I hope you're not mad, but I kind of changed your song around. And he's like, oh no, it's great. And that's what they went with. And they're driving, like, he's riding with the band, and they hear Thriller, or Beat It come out, and the guitar solo starts, and they're like, dude, is that you? And he's like, yeah, that is me. Like, he forgot. And they're like, so how much did you make off that? And he's like, nothing. They're like, you didn't get paid? They're like, no. They called and asked me if I wanted to do this thing, and I did it. Like, I don't know, man. And then always for me, my number 1's always Billie Jean, especially with Dog Fashion Disco. Well, technically it's Polka Dot Cadaver. Polka Dot Cadaver's cover of Billie Jean is also equally awesome.
but let me ask you: is it because of the cinematic music video associated with the song, or is it just the song itself that's got the groove?
Which one?
Billie Jean.
Billie Jean.
It's the song.
I mean, but who doesn't want a floor that lights up wherever you step on it?
I don't. I
Really?
don't. No.
So that detracted from the song.
No, and I thought the video was great, but I'm thinking to myself, like, that ruins the element of surprise. I got no drop. So if I'm walking and it lights up where I'm going, everybody knows where I am, and I don't like that.
True. True, but then also you can see Casey coming when she wants to tackle you and play with your butt.
I mean, there's that, but I mean, that would just because I would have that. Actually, that could work against you. You got lighting coming up from underneath, and you can't see anything out. So if you're in a pitch dark room and you got this underlight, you can't see nothing out there. So no, it doesn't help you with nothing. You're a vulnerable target. I don't like it.
Yeah, well, I had to do the call back to the Gangsta Boo bracket, but ain't nobody playing with Chancy. But I of course had to have one honorable mention for this because it's just an amazing CD. I mean, there are certain songs in this that I definitely weren't making my list because there's certain songs in this I find a little boring. But honorable mention is Pretty Young Thing because I do like that song, which is definitely not top 5 material in my mind. Number 5 is The Girl's Mine because Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney together is just fucking incredible. So,
yeah, it was a weird duet, to be honest. It's like they're both legends, but I felt like Paul McCartney was not singing like himself. He was trying to sound more pop-ish, like Michael Jackson to fit the song.
He is pop. I mean, the Beatles were pop before they ever were really rock.
But they're like also classical and traditional rock. It didn't sound like the same Paul McCartney.
I'm inclined to agree.
He did a good job on the song. I was like, whoa, that's different.
Well, I mean, it's also Paul McCartney, like towards like the Beatles are pretty sure by that point the Beatles are no more.
They were long done.
Yeah,
long done.
He's doing his Wings thing or whatever the hell it is at that point. But so I mean, it's just him being him at that point.
Yeah,
because it reminds me more of like his Wings singing style than like Beatles singing style. But
Well, I mean, he was an accompanying singer for the Beatles more than anything. I mean, him and John harmonized. Oh, I'll bet he did. But I
mean, John Lennon was apparently a real turd.
Also a terrible person. See what I'm talking about? He can't even just swinging the cat.
He used to like beat animals or like just I don't even know who wrote this biography, but clearly he was not really very well liked. He called like his manager like Kike, just all sorts of he just really disrespected people.
It's funny because it's awful.
He was really full of himself. I guess they all were, but yeah, what?
Well, you make enough money, eventually you're going to be for yourself. Very few can keep it real unless they're like Willie Nelson and they smoke a lot of shitload of weed. Why do you think Willie Nelson and Snoop Dogg are the coolest people ever?
Yeah, you're right. The weed sort of attenuates the assholeness of the fame that comes around that fame, celebrity.
I mean, I have so much respect for Snoop Dogg. They tell him not to crip walk at the Super Bowl. He crip walks still. Like, it's just.
Yeah, they told him not to wear a bandana. Wears a whole suit that's just a giant blue bandana. I mean,
Well, they give no fucks. None of the people that Super Bowl gave no fucks about what they wanted them to do. They just fucking did themselves, which made it a great show. But
that's funny that they told Snoop Dogg what to do.
Or tried anyway.
Because why tell him what to do? He's never been conventional. He's always just been like this badass like guy who was thrown in jail from the hood. Like, why would you tell him what to do? He's known across the world. At that point, like, I don't know. I don't even get it.
Right?
Because they're a major network television channel and they think they could tell everybody what to do.
And if I'm not mistaken, they were in the Rams Stadium, which is in like fucking Inglewood. So I mean, they're also, I mean, they're not looking for representation of gangs anyway, at the very least.
I mean, they told Eminem not to curse too, but he didn't give a shit. He just went off and started cursing in the middle of his song.
Actually, I mean, that as a guy that swears a lot, it really kind of just flows out like water. There's no fault. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I gotta watch what I'm saying because I'm around these motherfuckers. No, it's just if it offends you, I'm sorry.
I think he wasn't even able to filter himself because that's just how he speaks. Raps.
Well, I mean, it's like me. It's like me, except I'm the opposite of you, Chancy. If it offends you, go fuck yourself. I ain't apologizing for shit.
I mean,
as you damn well know.
I'll apologize. Doesn't necessarily mean I give a fuck.
Oh no, I won't apologize. I give no fake apologies to nobody. But
it's not necessarily a fake apology. I can be sorry about something, but it doesn't mean because by the time I've already said I'm sorry, it's fucking done. Like, I said it. It's out in the ether. The vibration. It's not. What do you want me to do? Catch vibration and bring it back? Sorry.
Well, speaking of starting something, my number four is wanting to be starting something. But
nice tie. Nice segue, bro.
That's a good one.
You ain't falling for nothing.
That was meticulously planned.
Not at all, but it just works. Number three for me was Beat It, because I do like Weird Al's version of that song a lot as well. But
which one did you do?
Beat It.
He turned it into Eat It.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Creative guy.
My wife turns it on whenever she's in the mood. But number two for me though was Thriller, because it's fucking Thriller. Because the only song that could be Thriller on this CD is one of my favorite music videos of all time. Number one is Billie Jean. Though I will say I almost got into an accident today trying to do a Thriller dance while driving. Just saying. Because how can you not? I mean, I've watched 13 going on 30 so many times and know the dance by heart. But
could you do the dance for us now?
I'm not drunk enough for that.
Doesn't look like you have a whole lot of room, but
I don't.
When
I'd love to see it.
When you asked, go ahead, Jeremy. It would.
Yeah, it'd be flying if I tried doing that right now.
When you asked if it was the video or the song that actually got, that for my choice on it being number one, I was thinking about why I said what I said, and I have to think about it. And it's the bass, that bass line. Just like, what the? It's a catchy bass line. I'm a sucker for a sample, a catchy bass line. Like Pink Pink Floyd's Money. That's one of my favorite. That's the first bass line that I learned how to. That's not true. It's the second bass line that I learned how to play. The first one came off of my album, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's a fucking bass."
You know what's funny? Just as a live performer on stage, just with different instruments, the bass is the most underrated of all of them. But it plays such a significant role in many ways, more of a significant role in terms of like the groove, getting people dancing than any other instrument. So, just want to throw that one in there. Bump, 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 bump. Like that made the song. Bump, bump, bump. The bass. Throughout the, I don't know who needs the drums. It's the bass,
right?
You
definitely need the drums if you're Meshuggah.
I like that word, Meshuggah.
Dude, check that band out for real. Just look up the song "Bleed." Drummers, specific. Like I can't. I always go back to this. I think we had a drummer on here one time, and he's like, "Dude, no." That the drums are like he plays them inverted, not like upside down like Tommy Lee or anything like that, but like the stuff you normally see drummers do on the top drums, he was doing with the bottom drum, like the bass drum and the high and the cymbal that's on the hi-hat. That's what I was thinking. Thank you, sir. And then he was doing the stuff you normally see like for pacing with the bass drums on the tom-toms and the snare drum and stuff. It's just like the comedian Bill Burr talks about going to one of their concerts and looking around and seeing no less than like 4 or 5 professional drummers just like standing there watching this drummer with him, and he's just like, I'm looking around at all these guys, and I'm like, what are you doing here? And he's like, see that? You hear that shit?
Yeah. Well, Meshuggah's a decent band, but
I'm slowly wearing you down, buddy. I'm slowly wearing you down.
Well, that concludes our first CD. So it's time to go to, I think we'll go with Chancy CD next, to go completely opposite direction. But so Chancy, what CD did you bring, and why the hell did you match Michael Jackson with the CD?
Well, because I was actually just kind of like, I didn't put any thought. Like normally I'll take time and be like, okay, well the guest picked this album and you picked this album, so I try to be in the same vein. And I was like, you know what? Nah. When you threw out your album, Jeremy, I was like, okay, so we've got some pop, we got some good classic rock. I'm gonna throw in some heavy metal, but nothing over the top, so to speak. Plus the album, which is Metallica's "Ride the Lightning," by the way. I bought 2 albums the first time that I ever bought a CD in my entire life. Metallica's "Ride the Lightning" and Eminem's first album.
Slim Shady, that was a second or
I think it was Slim Shady LP. I think it was. But
I'm Slim Shady. I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating.
That one.
That's Marshall Mathers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that one. Yeah, that was on Marshall Mathers, but it was the one with "My Name Is."
Oh, my name Chicka Slim Shady.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, I saw the video before I ever even picked up the album because like the video came on one night and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
And that's why he rose to stardom, because everybody's like, what?
For sure. And then all of a sudden, everybody thought, oh, it's just a flash in the pan, and then it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And then people, try and do well, they'll try and get him on a feature, and he always just wrecks everybody on their feature. Like, he's a feature and he stole your song. He's just that good. Like, what you gonna do?
Well, Asher, what did you think of Chancy CD since you just found out which CD is his? Because I don't tell people ahead of time for the shock value.
Fade to Black. You want top five here?
Your review, not your top five.
Oh, my review of Ride the Lightning.
Yes.
I've always been a fan of Metallica in general, so really just whatever they've produced is pretty much gold. There's something really beautiful and melodic to their death metalness, to their like badass like grunginess. There's always like a melodic chord progression, which I can't say at all, referring to a lot of the top music these days. There's just so much like mumble jumble rap and like rhythm that just doesn't keep pace. So I guess I'm not going to spend too much time trashing all the modern music, but Metallica is
by all means, talk shit. I'm all about it.
Like they're legendary for a reason, not just because of their marketing, but because they were cutting edge, but and they appealed to like a wide range, wide variety of like personalities, people who want to be kind of like grungy badass, and also people who just want to hear beautiful melodies. And so the guy can actually sing in tune. You can't say that about every top 40s artist. And so I'm a fan of the album. Beautiful stuff.
Fun fact, don't know if you knew this or not, but most of the music from the first 3 albums, which I think is this one, Seek and Destroy, and Master of Puppets, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, yeah. Dave Mustaine. It's all mostly Dave Mustaine for the guitars and stuff. The solos were done by Kirk Hammett, but originally written by Dave Mustaine. He was able to get credit later on down the line for a lot of the music, but they had actually kicked him out of the band before they blew up, which is part of the reason why he formed Megadeth.
To get back at them, huh?
Well, and it's funny. Go ahead, Jeremy. Go ahead, buddy.
That's funny. When you told me you chose Metallica, I almost chose Megadeth.
That's funny too. I would have laughed my ass off if you'd have chose Megadeth. Because I
almost chose United Abominations, but
oh yeah, nice. Yeah, no, they actually, before they did the big 4 tours, when they brought everybody together and we're going all over hell, they actually asked Dave Mustaine if he would do like a thing back when he was still beefing with them hard. And like, will you ever play with Metallica again if they asked you to? And he's like, no, because I only play with people who can keep time. And I was like, oh shit. And if you notice, I mean, Megadeth's a lot faster than Metallica when it comes to stuff that they play. Even stuff from early Metallica, from when Dave was in the band. That always blew my mind, especially with his spider chord creation. It's very difficult to do, like to show without a guitar in your hand. But he does a power chord on. It'd be like if you're looking at the guitar, you got your A string and then your D string, and then it goes to the E to the A. So it just da-dum, 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 da-dum. It's a really interesting chord, like blending of chords, because they all. Thank you. I mean, I know I taught myself how to play really more than anything, so I'm basic. Like I can't read music. I'm basically illiterate. I'm functionally illiterate. What can I say?
I know I played with some amazing bands that they actually don't read, and I didn't even realize that they didn't read until I played like 4 or 5 gigs with them, and like some pretty big it's a pretty big event spaces. And I was like, what? They just play by ear. So it's really, to me, for somebody who plays with both studio musicians that sight read and musicians who can't read, after that experience, it's like the talent is in the ear in many respects. Something to think about.
Yeah. However they get there, I respect it. But
yeah,
because
a lot of people who can sight read, they can't create. They can't create on the spot. They can't improvise. So depending on your ears, like it's a big deal, and it's not really emphasized enough, at least in the classical realm.
I mean,
it's violinist,
It's like rappers. It's like rappers. Some can write down their shit and be amazing, and some can freestyle and be amazing, and some can do both.
Right.
And others can do none of it.
Right.
True. I mean, I can't freestyle for shit usually because unless I'm really really drunk, and then it's just me thinking I can. But I mean, if I write it down ahead of time though, it's amazing. Like that's why that's how I can write intros like I do, because I used to always write raps like that, and I just think of shit ahead of time. But if I try to freestyle my intros, they don't turn out so great usually, as Chancy knows. But sometimes I win, but not always. But yes, Ride the Lightning. See, there are only 2 Metallica albums I love from start to finish, and that's the Black Album, and that's Death Magnetic. Every other album they do in between, I like certain songs off each one. Like Master of Puppets, I like it for just Master of Puppets basically. But like Ride the Lightning, did I get a top 5? Yeah. Was there only There's
one 9 songs. I mean, you gotta get 5 out of 9. Well, I mean, shit.
Well, let me put it this way: is there only one song on the CD I actually heard before? Yes.
Oh yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about already. So,
but I mean, it's Metallica. I can listen to Metallica, and I never would hate on it because it's Metallica. They're fucking amazing. Except Lars Ulrich, you could burn in hell for fucking that nasty bullshit, you fucking asshole. But you ruined the best thing to happen. You ruined the best thing to happen to teenagers in the fucking early 2000s ever. So, and then we got all these fucking other services that gave us viruses. So, so fuck you, Lars Ulrich. Fuck you up your ass. But other than that, Metallica is fucking incredible. They always have been. They always will be. I mean, from what I heard, they can't sing for. I heard they can't sing for shit anymore, and they can't perform live for shit
because they can't hear anything. They lost their hearing.
Yeah.
Why?
Makes
nobody
sense.
recommended them to put in earplugs during all these tours. I feel Probably like nobody looks after these bands.
No, they don't.
They don't care. It's like Avicii. The guy died from alcohol poisoning or whatever. Like did anybody think? Did his manager think? Okay, we need to like take care of the guy. You gotta like get him medicated or like have him see a doctor or like make sure he's eating or something like I don't get it. Like we hear these stories all the time. Suicide, depression, even Michael Jackson actually.
Yep. Or the jazz bassist Jaco Pastorius.
It's almost like more often than not, it's like the exception to the rule if they live like a normal, like Dolly Parton would be the exception. She's normal. She's still married. She's even keeled. She's just happy to be herself. Really unusual story.
Well, like I said earlier, look at Willie Nelson. Weed helps.
Yeah, good point. I mean,
actually, I've been seeing a chart on Facebook for a while now. Willie Nelson is actually the oldest surviving legend right now.
What is he, like 100?
Like
he's like 79, 80.
And he's still acting, right?
He's still I don't know if he acts, but he still performs and sings.
Yeah.
As I know. I mean, but there's no legends that are older than him right now. All the other ones have died. I mean,
and I don't think he spends money on facelifts. I think he's just happy to be himself.
He's wrinkled as fuck. He ain't spend no money on facelifts. If he does, he needs to get another doctor. But yeah, I mean, I mean, let's not forget also that getting a psycho bitch as your girlfriend can get you off too in this industry, aka Kurt Cobain. But
Well, I don't think he was all too stable himself. I mean, the guy, I think it was a selection process. I think they were both kind of screwed up.
Well,
The folie à deux.
Crazy attracts crazy, but
Yeah.
But Chancy, what were your top 5 on your CD?
Number 5 for me was Trapped Under Ice. I don't know. It's just something about that pause break when he's like, I'm trapped under ice, and right back into it.
Well, actually, you know what's funny about that song is there's this guy on Facebook Reels or TikTok probably too that does he does weird songs as wedding songs on a keyboard. And one of the most recent ones I heard was someone requested he did Trapped Under Ice.
Nice.
But,
and then number 4 is the Call of Cthulhu.
The one with no fucking lyrics, of course it is.
It's the instrumental, bro. What I mean, are you kidding me? Come on.
Oh, I respect a good instrumental, you know that, but I mean, I listen to Nightwish for God's sake. But
and then number 3 for me was Creeping Death. I love that guitar riff. The song itself is pretty badass. Number 2 is Fade to Black. That's I don't know. There's just something about that chorus because it's just it goes from a very nice broken chords, alternate picking, and then it just busts into that.
I call that the Metallica riff because that's in at least every one of the CDs in one song.
No, it's not.
But we know that they didn't copy and paste they do
I mean,
these days.
I mean that riff is in Cyanide and fucking Death Magnetic.
Okay, so they recycled it for one song.
And I'm pretty sure it's a Master of Puppets too, but
no way. But number 1 was that what I was talking about when I for the first bass riff that I ever learned, which is For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Mm-hmm.
Because that opening salvo, that's a bass guitar, and I was like, that's a fucking what? And then I watched live concert footage of it, and they're like, say hi, Cliff, and fucking this motherfucker just plays it like a guitar, just I'm like, okay, hold on. I had already had my mind blown by coming across Primus and then Geddy Lee and all these other great bassists, Jaco Pastorius, and then all of a sudden you just hear this guy, you just watch this dude just standing there playing this bass guitar. How strong do you think his hands really were? Because I mean, he's doing shit on this bass guitar that, I mean, you would hear people do on a regular guitar, especially when he does that up there at the high end. Because I mean, that's frets 12, 13, and 14. Maybe even 15, if I'm not mistaken. It could go to. I'm not. Don't quote me on that because I don't have one sitting in front of me to be able to just pull it up and be like, "Oh, hey, it's this." But
that's kind of painful,
right?
It's just thinking about it hurts my fingers. I have enough trouble just playing the violin. Guitar is even harder for me. But I'm saying just the strength in the wrist. Bass guitar is insane, and forget about it.
Right?
I mean,
yeah.
For that much strength in the wrist, he just did a lot of being off as a high schooler. But
I mean, he wouldn't have to. I mean, just playing that bass guitar, he'd crush your hand in a handshake. Just.
And you forgot one great bassist there, Chancy. Mick Mars.
I'm sorry, you said Rick Mars?
Mick Mars.
Oh, Mick Mars. Right. Well, I mean, you can't catch them all. They're not Pokemon.
Oh, I mean, you can't catch them all. You just got to be a groupie. But an STG kids.
I was gonna say, who's catching who is the real question.
Well, Asher, what are your top 5 for Chancy CD?
Fight Fire with Fire. Yeah, I know that was the first one. For Whom the Bell Tolls remastered. I'm trying to remember which one. You know, they all kind of starts. A number of them just start kind of low key, unpredictable. Is this Metallica? And then all of a sudden, oh, that's Metallica. They come in, So yeah, those first two, Escape and Creeping Death, even though I'm not like a death metal kind of guy, but like I don't know, the chord progressions are so creative and the riffs are just a little unpredictable, and that's what sort of, you know, puts them on the level of kind of above other heavy metal type groups, because it's, you know, they know their music theory. So the music theory nerd in me is like has respect for these songs, and kind of appreciates them a little more because of it. The Call of Cthulhu, I'm gonna have to agree with Chancy. I think that's 5, right?
I believe you said 4.
I was gonna say you can keep going if you want, man. There's all 9, man. Shit.
Yeah, I agree with Trapped Under Ice also. Again, like I'm more of a thriller kind of guy, but if I were to choose something from Metallica, I could definitely appreciate these songs from the album.
Yeah, they're no Black Album. That's for damn sure.
No, they're not, and that's almost the point.
But you can't catch lightning in a ball twice. You can try to ride it, but you can try to ride it, but you can't catch it.
They caught it 3 times before that. I mean, it's just the Black Album was really more of a rocket pack more than anything.
I mean, the Black Album was their fucking premiere CD. That was fucking incredible. But
I don't know about premiere, but like there was definitely their breakout. No, it wasn't. Definitely not. Most definitely not. Sorry, bro. You can't. I can't let that one fly. That's gonna go over like a Led Zeppelin, bro. Like fucking sinking. Sorry, bro. Oh, the humanity.
I will shut this show down.
Shut it the fuck down.
I never heard of any CD they did before that.
Master of Puppets, Seek and Destroy.
They were after the Black
No,
Album.
they weren't. No, they weren't.
Motherfucker, I have to Google.
Look it up, motherfucker. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I will,
Jerry.
I'll wait.
Oh yes, you will.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
Yeah, but will the audience wait?
Well, you know, fuck them if they can't take a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
audience.
I know you were, motherfucker. That's why I was like, yeah, just fucking do it. If I thought for a half a second I was wrong, I'd have been like, maybe. I don't know. I knew I was right because I fucking love heavy metal, dude. Like that's like, it was classical music, Motown, shit like that, you know, like the oldies and stuff, and then heavy metal. Like I was a very kind of sheltered. It's like I grew up in the Eisenhower administration. My dad's really, really old, listening to all the oldies, you know, Motown and old stuff like that. Mom was into like classic rock, like ZZ Top and Nazareth and stuff like that. GNR was probably as hard as she would go at the time. And then her sister introduced me to Black Sabbath. And done. I was like, what is this?
You were really into Black Sabbath.
Well, mostly Black Sabbath's first album anyway. Like Paranoid's great, War Pigs is great, but like there's something about Black Sabbath, specifically Black Sabbath, that specific song, the tritone, that the Devil's Chord or whatever it is they call it. I think it's bullshit, but it's great just because you got the rain and the little fancy start off, and then all of a sudden just boo down. Wait, like what the fuck just happened? Wait a second, hold up, and it's on a record, so you can't just like back it up without scratching anything.
Well, my top
I really honestly tried to get into Black Sabbath. I could not. I bought their album thinking, okay, like this is, you know, I got to listen to Black Sabbath like everybody does. It just I couldn't. I don't know why.
It's more about if you like Ozzy Sabbath or Dio Sabbath. There's a lot of people. See, I'm both. I like both. Dude, Dio had a voice on him for such a small motherfucker.
He did, but I'm not. I mean, I love Dio, but I mean, I don't think I've ever heard that much Dio Sabbath. I think that's the thing.
Oh yeah, Heaven and Hell. Like that. They actually stopped going by Black Sabbath, started just going by Heaven and Hell.
Yeah,
because
I never heard it from Heaven and Hell till now. So.
Oh well, I mean, they actually even did an album called From Heaven and Hell. So I mean, it's.
Well, my top 5 Rod the Lightning.
Yes.
My number 5 was Escape, because that was an amazing song. My number 4 was Fade to Black. Number 3 is Ride the Lightning. Number 2 is Creeping Death, because I love the fucking lyrics. Die by my hand! Like, I fucking love that shit. Like, oof. That gave me some thoughts today. And of course, number 1 is the only song on this album I ever heard before. I've heard the names of the other ones, but I never actually listened to them. But For Whom the Bell Tolls is, of course, number 1, because you're talking to someone who used to fucking change Undertaker's theme music in wrestling games to For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. So.
See, when they play it on the radio, it always fakes me out because it's either Highway to Hell by AC/DC or For Whom the Bell Tolls.
I know, they're the same fucking bells.
Because they got that same fucking bell, and it's like, oh, this is it, and they start playing, Highway to Hell, and it's like, I mean, I like AC/DC, but like I was really looking forward to fucking For Whom the Bell Tolls.
AC/DC is overplayed as shit, in my opinion. But
I'm amazed that he's able to maintain his voice for so long.
Well, I mean, the reason he had to stop was because he went deaf.
Oh, but he didn't lose his voice. That's the first thing I would have thought he would have lost.
Nope.
I mean, that is some really, like, any vocal coach would be like, I'm really concerned for your vocal cords.
Yeah, they usually would be like, oh my goodness, because I mean, it's so rough. But then again,
rain. You end up with polyps.
Right, but I was really into Bon Scott AC/DC personally, and that was actually more his natural voice. So I think if Bon Scott hadn't drank himself to death, I mean, fuck.
I mean, I'm not that big an AC/DC fan personally. I mean, their stuff's classic, but Big Balls is like one of the best songs ever. But
that's Bon Scott.
Yeah, but I mean, you want to talk about still how the hell they still have a voice? Look at Danny fucking Filth. How he's a voice still is beyond me. The way he screams in his songs, but
I don't know, man. Tom Araya from Slayer actually blew his voice, and you can almost understand why. From when I brought in Raining Blood, that scream that he did, I believe it's post-mortem. Like, he would do that live, and he fucking did it so much he blew his goddamn voice out. Or like the lead singer of the Spin Doctors. Going to go a little pop. If you want to go a little pop with like some one-hit wonder shit, the lead singer of the Spin Doctors blew out his voice like real bad.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Adele also blew out her voice. She was gone for a few years.
Yep. I was afraid. I was like, because when I heard she blew her voice out, I was like, I thought about the guy from Spin Doctors. I was like, fuck. Well, so much for Adele, I guess. Fucking. That sucks.
It's so interesting how people just, I mean, millions and millions of dollars are resting on invested in these major acts. And they're going on tour all over the place. It blows my mind. I mean, I guess they all have insurance, but it just blows my mind how they're taking this risk and then they're just not careful about these things, about their health, about their voice, whatever. Because it's not just their job that's being lost, the millions of dollars that they're losing. It's like everybody around them, the whole team that's there to build the show, blows my mind. It's just like a really odd financial business structure.
I mean, you think they would go insure their voice like George Costanza insured his hands, but
yeah, I should probably insure my hands actually.
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly. But all right, which that means we are down to the final album of the night, and of course, that album would be mine. And that album, because when Asher wanted to bring Michael Jackson, I'm like, all right. And Chancy's like, Metallica. I'm like, all right, we're doing classics. We're doing we're doing a matchup of the classics. And I almost went Styx for a minute. I almost went Chicago for a minute. But then I was like, let's go with Blue Oyster Cult. I haven't brought them to this show yet. And I love Blue Oyster Cult was one of my parents' favorite bands. They saw them live multiple times, and I wish I saw them live, but I had a few chances, just never worked out. And it's funny because this actual CD I brought, the Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper Greatest Hits CD.
All our times have come here, but now they're gone. Seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind, the sun, or the rain. We can be like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand.
I actually bought the CD FYE in physical copy probably back in 2006-07 when I was in college, and I played it in my car delivering pizza many a nights. And like when you're driving through a rural area, back roads at night, smoking a blunt while delivering pizza, this CD just hits right. It's so whimsical and amazing. And
Equally also ironic for those fans who have watched us in the past. Jeremy has voiced his disdain over greatest hits albums. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Well, the problem is, I was looking at every Blue Oyster Cult album, and there literally is like one song I knew on each album.
Yep.
So I had to do greatest hits because it's just,
that was back in the days where the single was the thing.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the album was just for the hardcore fans. But I mean, I'm sure my parents would probably know every song on every CD. They did, but
for sure.
I mean, the greatest hits CD is one I listened to for years, and I love every song on it, basically, almost. So I had to go for it. It's just an amazing fucking CD, and when you're drinking, smoking, and driving, it's just fun to listen to. Especially when you get home and the last song playing is "Take Me Away." I mean, come on. But it's the penultimate ending song for a CD. But Asher, what is your review of the Cult?
So, sorry to disappoint everybody, but this is really not an album that I would probably spend a whole lot of time listening to. But I do respect their art. Definitely very different from like the typical genres that I'd be like kind of spending time jamming along to. But I did have, I guess, a couple of songs I found pretty interesting. The Red and the Black, Astronomy. I just want to say, and when we mentioned the whole thing, like, you're on a late night drive, drinking and smoking, like it definitely fits that kind of vibe, that kind of feel. So, that kind of backdrop. So it's like,
And well, we'll let you can give your top 5 in a minute, but I mean, it definitely is one of those CDs. I mean, or if you're just in your car macking on a girl, like it's a perfect CD to play in the background usually. I mean, if Joan Crawford comes on, it's kind of a little awkward, but other than that, I mean, it works. But I mean, Godzilla comes on. I'm like, oh, that song's for down there, lady. But
yeah, there's obviously that element of like nostalgia when you listen to stuff because it's not stuff from decades ago, and just in terms of the style. What else? Don't Fear the Reaper. Kind of cool, kind of fun.
Classic.
Yeah, it's their most popular song they ever did.
Most unpopular or most popular?
It's their most well-known song.
Oh, it is.
Here I am falling like a chameleon. Godzilla. Maybe just because I like the name.
I was gonna give you shit if you didn't bring up Godzilla. I was gonna be like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now? Godzilla's hilarious. I don't care who the fuck you are."
Yeah. Well, I'm talking with some hardcore fans of this music, so I'm walking on ice here, eggshells, whatever you want to call it.
If you're walking on ice, you might as well dance, right?
Yeah. Oh my. What else did I say? I said 4. Joan Crawford.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot to say about the album. Just basically, I have respect for like their unique art and again, if they have a chord progression like that alone puts them above the vast majority of the crap that's out there nowadays. You know, that there's creativity there. There's melody like that. I hate to say it, but you know, hats off to them.
Well,
but that was before like music went to shit.
I mean, they are one of the top bands of the 70s, basically. But
yeah.
But Chancy, what is your review of this Greatest Hits album?
I mean, I quite liked it. I mean, like I said, I didn't have to listen to any of our albums this week. I was just like, oh, here's my top 3, bang, right out the gate. For me, the toughest part was finding 4 and 5 to pick out of, because like inherently there's 3 of them that I just love. They go over here, and then basically everything else is over there. But you know, I mean, it's funny. It's funny that, you know, usually my CDs are the ones that don't get the shine, or in some cases, some people actually mistake Jeremy's pick for my pick. You know, you have stuff like that happens, and then they're like, "What the fuck is this shit, man? What's wrong with you?" And it's like, "Fuck you! It's not even me. I didn't do it. This is my choice." But
that's wrong to people. But yeah.
Blue Oyster Cult. I mean, it's when I saw you pick Blue Oyster Cult, I was like, "Fucking yes, okay, all right, something. All right, I know I like this. This is something I can fucking work with. Here we go."
Yeah. Well, like I said, it was something I could match this with Michael Jackson, and it's another top band from the 70s, 80s, so I could make it work. And I actually have 5 honorable mentions for this CD.
Jesus Christ.
How could you fucking not? But
I mean, I stuck it with 5, but I mean, hey.
No way in hell I could. No way in hell I could stick with 5. I mean, I knew my top 5 before I even fucking listened to the CD again today, because I had to listen to all the CDs, even though I knew Thriller well enough too, where I could pick my top 5, but I still want to listen to it all over again. Actually, I started my day listening to Thriller on my way to my hour-and-a-half drive this morning to New Hampshire. But
yeah,
you're welcome.
Yeah, then you almost got in a car wreck because you kind of tried to bull some shit.
Because the music was so good.
Who doesn't dance like a zombie at Thriller? Come on now. But
I don't.
Oh, I doubt that. I'll have to ask Casey and Vito later to confirm that. But
you go ahead. Shit. Ask her. She'll tell you.
Well, my first honorable mention for the CD was Going Through the Motions, because it's just a very catchy 70s pop type of song. And Black Blade's the other one, because that's one of those weird Blue Oyster Cult songs that like it's just like trippy as shit. But I never used to like it when I was younger, but as I got older I started to like respect the shit out of it. But next one is Burning for You, which got me in trouble in high school because I used it as background music during a PowerPoint about the World War II and the Holocaust. But
Jesus fucking Christ, dude!
I was trying to do a very morbid joke and it didn't work, damn it. But
set the setting. What the fuck?
I was setting the setting. It was supposed to be funny.
I mean, I thought I was racy for trying to sing fucking I used to, because I was in choir, I had to do a senior solo, and I picked I believe by fuck, I can't even remember the name of the band right off the top of my head. That sucks.
Chancy's having a senior moment.
I am having a senior moment right now.
But my next honorable mention was Joan Crawford, because that's another one of their trippy ass songs. Like, I used to hate that song and skip it every time it came on. But after a while, like that fucking keyboard and piano in the beginning is just fucking incredible. Like, and I don't even know the story about like Joan Crawford really. I mean, she was another horrible mother of Hollywood, but from what
really,
Mommy Dearest, bro. But no, that's not who it was. But I always think about Mommy Dearest whenever we hear about bad mothers. No more wire hangers.
I know, but Joan Crawford was, from what I've heard, a horrible person. But but I mean, that song is just creepy as hell. Like policemen hiding behind the skirts of little girls. Like, I love that shit. Like, it's hilarious. But and then my last honorable mention is the Red and the Black, just because of the dueling fucking guitars in that song. Like, the dueling guitars make that song. But my number 5 was Astronomy, I love how it starts off all slow, and then it gets to that middle, and like the fucking drums just kick it off. Astronomy, like it's fucking incredible. Like just the ending of that song is fucking amazing. Number 4 is Flaming Telepaths, because that whole fucking song is just so good. I love that song. And it reaches into my paranormal side too, for my like, because I'm a paranormal podcaster, as everybody knows, and that shit kind of just like hits my paranormal side as well, because I talked about telepaths. So, number 3 is Don't Fear the Reaper, because how could it not?
See a little halo behind your head there, so it makes sense. It's all coming together now.
I am the Lord.
Don't overinflate him already, man. His head's big enough, dude. Shit. Yeah, in a minute we're gonna need a wheelbarrow for him to carry that motherfucker around.
You're talking about how big my head is. You're gonna need a wheelbarrow for my wife, not me.
I mean, I have yet to meet the woman, so I mean, I can't even tell.
She's a shy woman. She's a shy woman, but chloroform girl. But yeah, inside joke there. But number 3, of course, had to be Don't Fear the Reaper, because it's one of the most iconic songs ever. And there's 2 songs I like better on this fucking Grace Hits album than Don't Fear the Reaper, but the Don't Fear the Reaper has been in so many good TVs and movies and shows and movies. I mean, the scene in Supernatural where Dean and Sam are running away from like a fucking town full of Grim Reapers, and they have Don't Fear the Reaper playing in the background, is the greatest moment in history. It's fucking amazing. But number 2 was Don't Take Me Away, because that's my paranormal side as well. Loving a song about aliens. And I always, when I was younger, I idolized that song, because I always used to say, like, take me away. It's still my idea to get a tattoo on my arm one day of a UFO and have Take Me Away beneath it. And then number 1 is one of the greatest fucking songs ever in existence. Oh, it needs no drum roll, because it's the fucking Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan is one of the greatest songs in existence. Like a young man who gets his girl stolen at a rock and roll show by the band, so he decides to become one of the greatest guitarists of all time. Now, whether it's a lucid dream he's having the whole fucking song or not, but I mean, just the whole fucking thing, and the fact that the first song he plays is "Smoke on the Water." But yeah, boom, boom, boom. Like it's just that fucking the first guitar song any guitarist plays is "Smoke on the Water," so that's why it's amazing. But usually, at least, because that's the easiest song to learn. But
also known as the inverted Beethoven's Fifth, but it's okay.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, the Marshall Plan, and it reminds me of that Foreigner song. I can never. Oh yeah, Jukebox Hero. It reminds me of like Jukebox Hero a little bit too. I mean, kind of the same like synopsis of a song, but we gotta bring Foreigner on here sometime. I just thought of that. I love me some Foreigner. Who doesn't like Cold as Ice? But reminds me of a lot of Maxes. But yeah, the Marshall Plan is just, I mean, and I never knew if Don Kirshner is a real like TV person back in the 70s or not, though. Chancy, in your old wisdom, do you know that?
Not a clue. It sounds legit though. I mean, I'd buy it.
I mean, here on Don Kirshner's Rock Hour. But
I don't remember. For me, it's always, I always think of like Dick Clark and American Bandstand kind of thing more than anything else.
Well, I mean, I think American Bandstand, I think of Grease, but
I suppose.
But I mean, yeah, the Marshall Plan was just one of the best guitars in a song I ever heard in my life. So I love the Marshall Plan. I mean, Blue Oyster Cult is just classic. I mean, any one of these songs can get played at any party I'm at, and now I'm gonna be fucking headbanging my ass off and like dancing around. And I mean, if I'm drunk enough and you put on Godzilla, I might start stomping around. And my son loved fucking Godzilla the first time he heard it come on in my car, because he had a huge Godzilla King Kong phase when those movies, when like Godzilla vs Kong came out, he had a huge phase where he was watching every Godzilla movie and that came out in the new version of it. So, I mean, he loved that song, and I always thought that was the most annoying song until he made me listen to it over again. And I was like, but I do love that one line in the Godzilla song. History shows again and again how
nature points out the folly of man.
Man, yeah,
I love it. Yeah, it's like that's You can't. I mean, that's straight from the movie, though. I mean, that's what's up.
And I mean,
Well, the original movie, anyway.
What rock band would make a fucking song about Godzilla like that? Only Blue Oyster Cult would. Like that's the best thing.
I mean, their symbol is the cross of confusion. So I mean, like, if you think about it, it makes perfect sense for them to make a song about Godzilla.
I mean, if I could go back in time and see any band live in their heyday, it would have been fucking Blue Oyster Cult or Styx maybe before Dennis DeYoung died. But yeah, but and I went.
What are they doing now? Are they all in old age homes or are they dead?
Blue Oyster Cult. I'm pretty sure they're just retired, probably enjoying old age.
Oh yeah.
I don't ever remember hearing anything bad happening.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think they just smoke weed, but I mean, they still perform once in a while. I think because I've seen like them come up like at venues.
Yeah, I've seen them. Well, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen them because they've done a lot of state fair tours and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, they're one of those bands that will tour with like other 70s, 80s bands and like do like the Motley Crue, Joan Jett tours type thing, but
a little revival, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, they want to make money still because they spend all their money on weed and alcohol. So
yeah,
but royalties don't come in quite as well as they used to.
Well, since
Asher, tell me about it.
They don't.
And I own all my royalties.
Chancy, let me tell you a story about that later on today, actually. But
fair enough.
Since Asher gave his top 5 already in his review, Chancy, what are your top 5?
Let's see. Number 5 for me was Black Blade. Solid. It's a solid choice.
I never knew that was the name of the song for the longest time. I thought the name of the song was Row.
Oh yeah, I could see why you would get that. Yeah. Number 4 for me was City on Flame with Rock and Roll.
That's the one song they do I just don't like.
And that's why I picked it. Like I just inherently knew like Jeremy's gonna fucking hate this pick, and I put it right on there. If I would have known any better, I'd have put it at number 1. But I can't do that to myself.
Well, no. You know the reason I don't like it? It's way too close a theme to "We Built the City."
Well, I mean,
we built
chicken or they.
And I mean, every time I think of "We Built the City," I think of Homer Simpson singing it in Florida on a fucking fan boat. But
valid. Number 3 for me was also "Don't Fear the Reaper." First time I actually heard that song not on the radio was actually in Halloween.
The original?
Yep. When Jamie Lee Curtis and her friend are driving around smoking that joint, fucking "Don't Fear the Reaper's" playing, and old Mikey's driving in the background, like, "What's up, bitches?"
Mike Myers drives?
Yeah, Michael Myers drove. Yeah, that's what I
haven't seen the original Halloween in like 20 years, but
yeah, well, I mean, I can't help you there. I don't know. You should watch it.
I don't like to waste my time, but
I mean, you can call it a waste of time, but it's great.
I'd rather watch the Rob Zombie version.
You would. Trash. You fucking uncultured swine to steal a Vito line. But number 2 for me is Godzilla. And this was also another scenario where it was hard for me to do a 1 or a 2 because I could change these out. But if I had, when I thought about it, my number 1 is "Burning for You," and that's my favorite Blue Oyster Cult song. Mostly just because of the guitar, like the way the guitar plays to the singing, just that chorus, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da, just fucking what?
When I pulled that shit in history class. Literally, at the end of the class, my teacher, who was she went to Notre Dame. She was an Irish woman with a lot of Notre Dame like legacy, and she pulled me aside the end of the class, and she's like, "I'm not going to the principal for this, and if she asked, you didn't do it, but I think it's funny, but I'm Irish. I'm gonna think it's funny, but other people are not gonna think it's funny. They're gonna think it's fucked as hell." Like she's just like she was the coolest lady, but she was just like, yeah, she's like just. Don't go around to people in high school. Go around school and tell people you did this. Like, it was funny, but I couldn't laugh in front of the fucking students about that. Like,
it's all done there.
Yeah, right. No,
I had good. I had good repertoire with all my teachers. I was a straight A student, so.
Yeah, no, not so much with myself or so much luck. Oh, also, I remembered. It's the Blessed Union of Souls is the name of the band I was trying to think of.
Never
And
heard
it's
of them.
yeah, I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, you know, it's good music. No, I'm sorry, Jeremy. I'm busting your balls, dude. It's more poppy stuff. Like they did, like there's a song on there. There's a song they did called "Hey Leonardo." It's the one that, she likes me for me. Fucking, that's one of their more well-known songs.
Oh, I know that song.
But that band also did this other song that
Yeah.
it's not well. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics of that song, they're pretty profound, man. I'll have to find.
I listen to the way he sings the song. That's why I can't stand about it.
I'll have to find that album that it's on and bring it on just to make you listen to it. But everybody was all on board with me doing this for my senior solo until the last verse comes up. And then, you know, that's where the joke fell short for me. Like I was like 98% ready to go because my choir teacher, she was kind of full of herself and loved to play piano accompaniment with the singer. And this song has a lot. It's all piano. There's piano and violin, and not a what you would expect from any band from that time period, really. And then, like I said, when you listen to the lyrics of the song, it talks about drug addiction and stuff like that, and how it have the effect that it has on society, and the hope that he has for a brighter, future, basically based on, because like the whole chorus is, "I believe that love is the answer." It's fucking, I mean, that's pretty profound. But I'm gonna find that album, and I'm gonna make you listen to it just for that one. I don't even care if the rest of the songs are garbage. I don't care. I'm just gonna make you listen to it. So I'm gonna be like, see?
You usually don't, but yeah, that's gonna conclude all 3 albums on this week's episode. But next week we have our favorite hoe in the go back for what will be our Valentine's Day episode, and that is C.A. Knuble, stand-up comedian and podcaster. And her CD she chose is Love is Dead by Kerly, Kerly. I never heard her or him or they.
Spell that again?
Kerly, Kerly.
And then the name of the album was, what's the name again? Love is Dead.
Kind of the opposite of the song you were just talking about, but.
Yeah, well,
But I told her we'll get back to her with our choices later on. So, but we look forward to that next week because CA is always a fun guest, and hopefully this time she actually gets to. She won't be in a comedy club this time, so she'll actually be on the whole show. So yeah, we look forward to it. But we
indubitably,
inconceivably. But we also want to thank our guest this week, Asher, for coming on. It's been a hell of a good episode, and
thanks for having me.
Glad. Hope you enjoyed yourself.
Had a good time with you guys.
Yeah, we definitely want to have you back on.
Let's go out for drinks virtually. Which part of the country are you guys?
Well, I mean,
I'm East Coast, he's Central.
Okay, I'm East Coast.
I'm in Massachusetts.
So you guys can have drinks. You guys can meet up for drinks, I guess.
Oh,
well, I guess we just had drinks.
Oh, well, okay.
We had PG.
I got Seagram's Escape Spiked Crisp Green Apple. 8.5%. Oh, fuck. I drank 3 of these last night, and I was walking a little funny.
I went hard on the sweet tea tonight, bro.
Watch your diabetes there, Chancy. But
you got to shoot for goals, man. Shoot for goals.
You don't want to end up like my wife, but
probably not.
I mean, well, that leads to certain things, but
I don't think I could stand to be married to you more than 5 minutes, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, I don't know how Casey puts up with your ass either. So
I question that myself, dude, every day. I'm like, hey, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, if Vito was more attractive, she might leave you for him, but Yeah, that never would happen. But oh, Vito, we love you. But Asher, thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. We'll definitely have you back on someday when we will have repeat guests besides CA being our first. But that's only because her episode didn't go as planned. And
yeah. That's an understatement. It was awesome though.
It was awesome, but it just didn't go as planned. I'd like to have her comedy on for the whole show. But
she did comedy the whole show?
I'm sorry?
Was that? I thought you said she did comedy the whole show.
Yeah, she's a stand-up comedian, so having her on a show is always entertaining.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she had to have us in her pocket basically at the show because basically it's kind of like when you're up, you're up.
Yeah,
when you're down, you're down.
And the Wi-Fi at the comedy club was shit, so she couldn't really be on like the whole time. But other than that, I mean, and I don't blame them because why would you want good Wi-Fi at a comedy club? Because then no one's gonna be watching the show,
right?
But Asher, why don't you tell the audience where they can find you if they want to hear more of your awesome electric violin or everything else you do?
AsherLaub.com is my website, AsherLaub.com. And there's all these links to like a bunch of other sites. So if you want to see all sorts of Asher shenanigans, Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, Twitter, that kind of stuff, just search my name, Asher Laub. And if you want to hear my original music, covers, that type of stuff, I'm on all major platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Amazon, all that stuff. Pandora. So yeah, I'm the only Asher Laub in America, so no excuses. You can find me. Say hello too.
I'm the only one with my name spelled like it is too, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Nice.
I'm not. There's a lot of black guys with the name Jeremy Bryant.
Well, you know, I mean, Jeremy's a popular name.
My great grandfather owned some people he shouldn't have. And my great grandfather,
you know,
some people we shouldn't have, and we believe that's where they started. But
well, you know,
but I mean, yeah, I can't atone for my ancestors' past, who was not really blood related to me. So you know, whatever.
Everybody's got some bullshit in their background, you know.
My family's from they're from Alabama. So what are you gonna do? But I'm sorry. Oh no, I apologize. I apologize, my ancestors. I apologize. Georgia, not Alabama, but Alabama's where my wife's family's from, so that's worse. But her grandmother used to get locked in the old outhouse where all the snakes were, if they were bad kids. So in the slaves, in the slaves outhouse. So yeah, but
well, you know, I mean,
but Chancy, where can they find you?
I'm lost in the woods, bro. I don't even know where the fuck I don't even know where the fuck I'm at right now. Let's see. The Book of Faces under my name. Instagram, TikTok, the Red Eye Round Table. Twitter is Red Eye Table. And you know, standing along the roadside with a little cardboard sign that says "We'll podcast for exposure."
Yes, or he will expose himself to podcast. It goes either way.
No,
but I'll show Casey would beat you and stick her finger up there. But
dude, she beat me with a stick.
I want to hear about your foreplay, Chancy. But
I mean,
you can of course find me, and you use a paddle. That's a lot worse than a stick. Thank you, but. But you can find me on or both of us on Facebook as Paranormal Normal / Maniacal Music Musings podcast group on Facebook there. You can find us on Instagram and the Twitter as Juggalo Bastard. And you can find us on TikTok as Juggalo Bastard Podcast. And you can find us on YouTube just by searching Maniacal Music Musings. We'll come up. Just Google us. We'll come up. We're the only musers out there. Once again, thank you, Asher, for coming on. And we will be back next week with C.A. Canubo, our favorite West Philly comedian next to Will Smith. Peace out and have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Say bye, Chancy.
Bye, Chancy.
What is up, everybody? Thanks so much for stopping by to check out this music video. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed producing it. I hope you get as much strength from it as I do. This is about a person who overcame the odds with determination. And I think this is a narrative that many of us can relate to, whether it's struggling with physical or cognitive limitations. When somebody else has the answers for us, we can often find strength from within, right? I want to thank DJ Nico, my co-producer, and Sarah Mobius, Cindy Patricia, Shaid Shane, and Z Motion for being amazing partners in this production. They're all such talented dancers. Check out their links below. Also, Ricky from E3 DJs and Subin for manning the video wall and providing the space. Slava and Anatoly for their incredible talents with photography and videography. Also, check out their links below. Again, thanks so much for supporting this video. Please share, like, smash that subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what else you want to hear and see, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Love you all.